What's up, nerds? Spooky season. Woo! I'm James. Terrifying, I know.
I'm Jimmy, his father.
Also terrifying. You can see it in the genetics. And today we are doing a flashback of the movie Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
I'm not sure we can call this a straight horror film because I laugh more in this than most comedies. The first 30 to 45 minutes of this movie is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
It's pure comedic genius without question. For some reason, the second I need to remember quotes, I can't. But we will throw quotes at each other all the time from this movie and die laughing because it is just so funny and so stupid.
And it sort of flew under the radar. Like, it wasn't a huge release. I'm not exactly sure why. The cast is relatively unknown, except for Alan Tudyk and Tyler Labine are rednecks in this story.
Yes.
And the setup is Alan Tudyk bought this vacation home in the middle of nowhere so he could go fishing and hunting. And he brought his best friend, Tyler Labine, who's Dale, and they are going to see it for the first time and renovate it. And it's a shithole, but they're thrilled. Like, they're so excited. And as they go in, there's newspaper clippings of murders. What was it, the Memorial Day Massacre?
The Memorial Day Massacre. There's a wind chime made of bones.
And they're just like, oh, the person before us must have been an archaeologist. They really like old stuff. And it's like, wow, okay. And as they're going, they're in.
There's a board game.
And I'm sorry for, I guess that's part of the point, is this assumption of rednecks, but they're in an old truck. They've got fishing and hunting gear in the back, and they look scary. They not clean shaven. They trucker hat, and they go by a group of college kids who are also going vacationing. And
you college kids?
They're the stereotypical annoying college kids that are in every horror film.
God,
but instead of following them and watching Jason or Freddy kill them, we get to follow Tucker and Dale. And it is hilarious because Tucker and Dale are watching these kids die. These kids are trying to essentially kill Tucker and Dale because they think they kidnapped their friend, played by Katrina Bowden, who I only know her from 30 Rock as the receptionist secretary who is just hot. That's basically what she does in the show. But they think they kidnapped her, so they're trying to get her back, and they're creating violence. But in their attempt to violently take her back, they die.
The kid just jumps straight to the wood chipper.
And he's holding the kids. Alan Tudyk is holding the kid's legs as he's being chopped up. He's like, it's all the blood.
Are you
okay? And it's horrible. Horrible, but it's hilarious.
The best part is, for the first half of the film, from Tucker and Dale's point of view, it's just a slice in the life of almost like rom-com kind of drama where it's just they're just enjoying themselves, and if they're out fishing,
fixing up the house.
They are. And then for the teenagers, it's like, oh God, we're gonna die. Oh God, it's like this horror film. And then it converges perfectly when I can't remember the character's name, so I'm just gonna call him Frat Bitch, a la Dale. When he takes it upon himself and his psychotic tendencies to just take out Tucker and Dale, and it's like that's when it converges into the horror film for both perspectives, and it's so genius in its writing.
Well, and that's something we talked about because we have seen this before. We constantly forget the story when it actually gets into the story.
Oh yeah.
With the main character finding out that he hates rednecks because his mom was kidnapped back in the day and was subjected to redneck torture, and that was the Memorial Day Massacre, and then finding out his dad was a redneck, so he needs to chill out. It's all this stuff I always forget because the first part of the movie is so damn funny and entertaining that I forgot there's actually a story involved.
And you miss the genius writing of the frat bitch because you see his psychotic tendencies flare up constantly.
Yeah.
And for us, we're just dumb funny stuff. But then you rewatch it and you see he is foreshadowed as this psychotic killer well before, and it's whoa.
Well, okay. I forget things Tucker loses fingers because they chop him off. I
We
totally
forgot
forgot about that. He's almost killed and is sitting there dying by the truck as Dale has to go get the girl. It's like, I totally forgot all these bad things happened to poor Tucker because, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. But one of my favorite deaths is the first one where he's out with the chainsaw just clearing up brush and woods and whatever, and he accidentally gets the beehive. And he's running with the chainsaw as one of the frat boys is running, and they get side by side. And he's like, why are you running from the dude with the chainsaw? He's next to you. And he's like all confused, and he runs into the tree stump and like impales himself. And he's like, and then to cap it off, the bee comes and stings him. It's like,
And like two of the
Damn.
other great ones is the one where the dude tries to javelin toss a spear, trips, spears himself, and then another kid Dale's like, you got to turn the safety off, and he's like,
he shoots himself. It's a comedy of errors in horror fashion. I am sorry we're laughing so hard at inappropriate violence. Check that. I am not sorry because it's freaking hilarious. You need to go watch this if you haven't seen it because, again, it flew under the radar.
do you know what streaming services it's on?
I can't remember where we watched it. We just watched it.
I know it was on Netflix for a time, but I don't know if it's on Netflix anymore. Does
Just
our
look it
recon
up.
man have the info?
Peacock,
That's where it was. Yeah, we saw it on Peacock.
Hulu, YouTube, Premium.
So, and
Apple
it,
TV.
as
Okay.
Kyle says this, it's probably a good explanation. It's probably relatively cheap because it did not do great at the box office, so it's everywhere. Go check this out.
$3.99.
It's a hilarious movie. Well worth the money you're going to pay.